So here we are in Clovis, California. We just finished installing, we're actually repairing a tub spout, a stub. It was copper and it was just on a 90. What they had done is taken a couple of PEX talons, put a block right behind the copper drop right here to the spout, and then two PEX talons from this side. You know, that's during construction, so it was strapped there. And then down here was just a 90 stubbed out with no block, no support, no nothing. Anyway, so homeowner was working on it, and somehow the set screw got caught on the copper and damaged it. So anyways, we need to replace the copper. So we have new wingels. Those are the drop ear 90s right there. They're made of brass. We didn't have the sweat by sweat, but we did have the sweat by iron pipe or pipe thread, which means you take an adapter and you screw it in. So what we've done is gone ahead and put in a drop ear 90, and it's screwed to the block. There's a screw hole here and a screw hole here, and it's mounted. And that's the way you stub out a tub spout. Whether you do iron pipe or whether you do copper, doesn't matter, but it gets screwed to the block. So it's screwed to the block. We stubbed out a long piece of copper that way, soldered this in here, and then we used a repair coupling, which means there's no stop in the middle. So usually there's a little indent, so the copper will only go halfway in. Well, these, you can slide this coupling all the way up and put this together and then slide it down, solder it in place. So anyways, we've soldered this in place, and we've checked around here to make sure that there's no leaking. We don't see any. They're going to have an access panel there. We went ahead and put in a couple blocks on the side because the framing is way over there on the corner. And so there was no blocking here to screw in a panel if you use the screw-in type. Hole's 14.5 by 14.5, so a standard 14 by 14 panel will fit over this, whether it's metal or plastic. It's totally up to you. So it's all soldered back in, this existing Mullen valve. It is not strapped, and what that means is typically the newer valves, what they have in here is some screw holes. You can see that screw hole right there is for the mounting plate, the cover plate that comes from the other side, and there's another one up top. See if I can get a picture of it. Right. Can't get a picture of it. Anyways, there's another one up top, and that's where it screws. The newer valves, what they have is mounting holes in the back of the valve as well, so you can mount this valve to a block of wood. There's nothing in there. So this valve is free floating. Let's see if I can get you a picture without shaking around too much. There's nothing in here to prohibit this valve from moving. So if you look up into the cavity, you can see there's the transition to the PEX right there. Sorry about all the shaking because I'm one hand in this. So it just came down. There's nothing over here to support it. There's nothing there to support it. You can see the pipe goes way up there in the wall, and no strapping. So the problem is this will move back and forth. So this valve, if you grab it, I can't show you a picture because while I'm moving it, I'm moving the camera, but this needs to be supported somehow. What I would recommend is take a couple of pieces of 2x4, cut them at an angle, cut like a nice wedge, and wedge it down from the top, going down behind these copper lines, and just wedge them in there. And that'll keep the valve from moving forward in the wall. And the reason why you want to keep it from moving forward in the wall is that spout is going to translate to that movement. So if the valve moves forwards, then the spout stub out is going to drop down at an angle. And if the valve moves back, then it's going to be up like that. So anyways, we'll see if they want us to cut a couple blocks for that and just put it in there real quick. So that is this side of the wall. Finished side of the wall. We'll take just a quick picture of that just so we can see it without intruding on anybody's privacy here. So here's the front side. This is not connected yet, but it's cut to length. So you can see here, there's the valve, and it moves. So not a lot, but you know, you can see the movement. You can't see the movement because my camera's moving. This is not tied in yet. We've got it cut to length so that it fits just perfectly. But if you move it, you can see this. You can't see it. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get you a picture of that. Can't. Anyways, we'll put a couple. You can see in here, there's a gap between the copper and the wall. We'll see if we can get a couple pieces of block of wood in there and just temporary, just to shove them down in there so this doesn't move. Outside of that, this installation is done.